Welcome back to the football show.
Bama, dominant again, another year, another championship for Saban. Is he going to go down as the greatest ever?
I think that he's in the discussion for top two. Obviously, I believe he tied the record with 5 national championships. So
Bear Bryant.
With Bear Bryant. And now Nick Saban is synonymous with Alabama as much as I believe Bear Bryant was. And he will go down. And it's interesting that we get to be in this, part of, or in this time frame where we get to see a legend at work and we don't have to hear about the great stories of Bear Bryant.
True.
We probably have either, if he goes on another 5 years in college football and wins another 2 national championships, I think everybody will say he's the greatest.
He was the greatest
college football coach ever. So,
do you think he'll make the jump again after that? Try and go pro?
I'm not sure he's ever going to try to go pro again. He had a very lackluster
rough
experience.
Let's call it a rough run there.
And it's not pro. Don't fix it.
This is a perfect segue. I think we need to get into the NFL. We recently had the Super Bowl. We're in the offseason. Some moves. Riley Cooper was just released, I believe, by the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's get into the NFL. What's on your mind, I think, as far as Peyton Manning, Marshawn Lynch, Von Miller is a free agent. So what's on your radar?
Von Miller,
obviously,
John Von Miller, obviously the hottest name on the market, just had a monster performance in the Super Bowl, something like 4 or 5 sacks, still at the top of his game, really. One of the 2 bookends for Denver, including DeMarcus Ware. Does Denver let him go? They don't really have a choice. He's an unrestricted free agent. I see Von Miller maybe listening to offers in the market, but probably staying at home with Denver.
I look at it a little bit different because it's possible you see these guys, they win the Super Bowl, they attain the ultimate prize, they don't have that burn in their stomach anymore for that championship.
Well, this was his first, remember that.
They move to the Jacksonville Jaguars or one of the weaker teams in the league who need the players and are willing to pay that $65 million, $80 million contract. And you get a little bit of a premium. He knows he's won the Super Bowl, he has the ring, and now he has a little comfort knowing he's financially set for the rest of his life. So I could see him going in that direction as an unrestricted free agent.
The Ballon d'Or last 5-6 times was between Messi and Ronaldo. Such a huge shift to La Liga. Is it almost time to crown it as the top league over the EPL?
I think it's been the top league over the EPL already. At least for the last couple of years.
And I'll have to interject in here. I don't hear anything about it. I know the Bundesliga is kind of getting knocked down, but let's not forget that 2 or 3 years ago we had Dortmund versus Bayern Munich in the championship. So let's not forget the
longevity of La Liga, ever since...
if you had to tie it up, I would have said La Liga and Bundesliga. The EPL was a 2 there, but the problem in La Liga is that you have 3 teams that are completely dominant out of
the superstars are there, and that's
so
what gets
it's
the
a
fans
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
Let's not forget. Let's not knock the Premier League either. The Premier League is obviously one of the most.
It probably will still be the most revenue generating one. As far as getting
especially with NBC picking up
now with
the
Pepe Guardiola
and broadcasting those
signing that contract to Manchester City, Suarez, Neymar and Messi are on his buying list, and I think Manchester City gave him £170 million to spend.
So you really see Messi making such a drastic move to change?
Pepe Guardiola was huge in the development.
And I have issues with this because I think
La Liga to EPL.
I think these players don't have the body type that can move into the EPL from La Liga, and I think a lot of them are more comfortable being in La Liga because of their body type. Neymar is kind of a wiry guy. We saw what happened to him getting his back broken by the Colombian
in the
match against Colombia.
Yes.
So I think that's an issue that Messi, these South Americans with a little bit wiry, smaller frame, are they going to be able to match up against a Wayne Rooney, someone who's big-bodied, stocky,
exactly. It's more
powerful,
lower center of gravity.
Do you see people like Messi or Neymar having to change their style of play going in EPL?
Well, I think it's absolutely.
Yeah,
it's less finesse and more
They're
power.
going to have to deal with some bigger guys that are going to be more physical than they are. They're used to, especially Neymar and Messi and Suarez, the 3 of them, because they're all 3 from South America. You got a Uruguayan, an Argentinian, and a Brazilian. Our football style is very different than European style.
Right.
We have a more finesse kind of touch and pass thing. American football, along with European football, the EPL, is more. You have bigger guys, so it's a bit more contact-like. So those three there are going to have to adjust to the English style of playing, or have the English style of playing adjust to them.
Yeah.
It's one of
Good
those
point.
two things.
And same with the Bundesliga. I think that's a bigger, more powerful league. Maybe a little more tactical than the EPL, but I don't know if I see a smooth transition for player, a 5'8", 5'9" player, fast guy, but somewhat thin, somewhat smaller body frame, being able to match up against those guys. And if they do go, they may have a shortened career because of the constant,
The
bump and
use.
shove. Look at not to stray into a sport that we don't cover, but Allen Iverson of basketball, he was always bumped up. I'm a Sixers fan, and he was a smaller guy. He was going against 6'10", centers that were bumping him around, and I think that was a lot of wear and tear on his body, and ultimately he kind of had a quick decline, and he was out of the NBA. So I'd hate to see that happen to one of these players. And we saw what happened to Neymar in the World Cup. We saw he had a broken vertebrae.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. So
No, that's not good at all.